Our story begins on the Nile. We see it flow majestically with people on the shore fishing, washing their clothes, or filling their buckets with water. It cuts to a riverboat docked with people getting on board. We see a man with a very dissatisfied looking woman. They present their tickets and board the boat. We see the Bushwackers close by. They get into queue and present their tickets and board the riverboat. Presently, the boat steams out of port, cruising gently as the sun slowly sinks below the horizon. It cuts to a cabin where we see the Bushwackers unpacking.
So, do you got eyes on the target?
Yep, fifth cabin to the left. Anyone get a look at the woman with him?
That is, presumably, his wife.
Dissatisfied wife. I mean, remember what Cherundulo said.
He could have said all that to screw with us, dude.
I doubt it. So the million-dollar question here...
Do we kill the wife also?
I mean, do you think she'd mind us offing her husband?
If we take the second target's word for it, then I doubt it.
Huh. They look at JJ.
What?
I thought he was going to ask who's going to get the couch. Lee and Luca exchange looks. Seriously? Man, you guys really are a-holes, you know that? Hey, you were the one who asked.
And as the Bible says, ask and you shall receive.
As JJ pulls a face, Lee peers through the slats to see their target walking by with his wife. So, how do we do this?
We get him alone, and then we shoot him, and then we toss the body overboard.
And how do you propose we isolate him? Lee turns to Luca and then to JJ. JJ looks up. What?
Hey, JJ, buddy.
Oh no. Are you sure? I mean, I could do it.
As if. You got a beer gut you can see from space. And you got a double chin when you sleep. No. JJ needs to... you know.
Guys, she's like 100 years old. And she isn't quite a looker.
You're not doing it for keeps, dude. You're just gonna lead her on and keep her away from her husband. While Luca and I take care of the guy.
Luca produces a garrote.
And then once the job's done, then you can dump her sorry grainy ass and go back to whatever it is you do.
I really hate this plan. Hey, remember when we took out the Ivy Witch? Who risked life and limb to confront that crazy hippie while you had the luxury of hiding out in a creek bed?
See? Good point. Luca did his part for the team, and by comparison, this is uber easy.
JJ sighs as Luca opens the door and walks straight into a tall and thin man. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, no problem at all. It happens to all of us. Lee and Luca exchange quizzical looks. Oh, you're English. Yes, among many other things. He looks at his wrist. Ah, an Omega Railmaster. I take it you in the service. Very, very briefly. Tutor Black Bay, I see. Ah, yes. Alas, I wasn't anything spectacular, just desk duty on Callisto. Well, there are no small roles when it comes to defending your country. Yeah, cheers, mate. They salute one another as he walks off. Lee looks at Luca.
What the hell was that about?
Luca resumes his stoic demeanor. Nothing. Come on. Hey, where's JJ?
He's getting prepared mentally?
Guys, I really don't want to do this. What, you never wanted to seduce a MILF? No. Amazing. How do you even call that living?
What? Trying to bang someone who could be your mother? Yeah, I don't know how anyone could miss that phase.
He straightens up. Alright, let's just get this over with. They head to the commissary, where they see the target and his wife sitting at a table. So, how do we split those two? Lee looks at JJ.
Well, go on then.
What do I say? Compliment her body. Tell her she looks like a firecracker with nice melons. I mean, from the way she looks, I bet she'd appreciate that.
Okay, compliment her, but don't, listen to what Luca just said. Just say the opposite.
Alright then. And JJ, she isn't so much your mother, but the love of your life. Remember that. Okay, I'll try. He goes over to the bar and orders 2 drinks and then walks over and smiles at the wife and hands her a drink. I haven't been able to take my eyes off you since the journey started. You are so sexy. Lee and Luca facepalm.
God, no subtlety.
Well, you sure ain't Rico Suave. Are you certain you don't want me to go in?
Luca, you seducing that woman isn't anything new. In fact, I'm surprised that isn't your forte.
The man stands up. How dare you, you swine, coming to my wife like that. I had to take you outside to teach you some manners. JJ looks nervous as the same Englishman from before walks over. Yeah, you'll have to excuse my English nephew. He's a bit unrefined. He does have the tendency to blurt out things that are a bit brash. He does mean well, sir, and he was merely complimenting your lovely wife with a refreshing rosé wine. His vulgarity disguised the best intentions of telling you that you're married to a wonderful woman. Oh, well, well, that is all right. Thank you. The wife smiles and politely accepts the drink. The Englishman steers JJ away towards the other 2. You really are a bit out of your depth. Hey, they put me up to it. He looks at the 2. Well, we were celebrating his college graduation, and this is a form of hazing. Pardon me, Luca, but isn't hazing more common in university than out?
Ooh, he got you there, bro.
Well, Mr. Tristan Vigano, at your service. I am doing this to indoctrinate the boy in the ways of the world. I mean, you gotta stumble before you can walk, right? Quite. Let me impart some knowledge onto you. That man and his wife over there.
Yes?
That's Ptolemy Nerrin, a very influential politician and oligarch. One of the 4 who have close ties to the Kremlin. He isn't one to trifle with and could easily make your lives very unpleasant. You don't say. Furthermore, there have been reports that 2 of his associates have died under rather dubious circumstances over the past week. As you can imagine, he is rather on edge. So, might I suggest refraining from any provocations furthermore? Sure.
Alright.
Fine. Brilliant. Well, this is a rather lovely night. Why don't you 3 go out and get some fresh air? As he says this, he pats JJ on the shoulder and strides over to the table and joins the 2, and soon they are laughing as if they were old friends. Lee and Luca exchange looks.
What the hell just happened here? Did we get schooled by an Englishman?
Yes. He's one of the Queen's Fusiliers. Well, space Fusiliers anyway.
Anyway, we gotta get that Nerrin guy alone, so we can,
Well, you two go about doing that. I'm done with seducing old Russian hags. But you're just getting started. And I'm not gonna finish. Seriously? Grow up. JJ turns and leaves. Luca nudges Lee. You think we went too far?
Nah.
You know, a thought just crossed my mind.
Here we go.
I mean, can't we just shoot him here? I mean, there's barely anyone around.
No! And for all we know, that Englishman over there could be in cahoots with the target. He may even be trying to protect him, and we don't know it.
True. Plus, I left the gun in the cabin. Lee face palms. As the night descends over Egypt, the riverboat steams gently on the river, barely making a noise. We see Ptolemy Nerrin with his wife. You must believe me. I am going to tell her it's over. You and only you are in my life. How many times have you said the same thing over the past 20 years of marriage? I know. But you must trust me. The wife turns away. We are here in Egypt, on this river cruise to save our marriage. She is not here. She does not even know about this. The wife glares at him. So now you treat me as your mistress. You hide her from me. All things we do together, they are but secrets. Nerrin glares at her, lost for words. I married you before God and family. I want to be declared openly to everyone that I am your wife and not that slut. You are. Believe me. As they talk, Lee and Luca appear from around the corner.
Whoa. Talk about heavy.
I know. They've been together for 20 years and he's doing that? Lee stares at Luca. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking we give the woman another minute to get clear, and then we bum rush the fool and give him a proper bath in the Nile.
Suddenly, they feel someone grab them. They jump and turn to see the Englishman. We've got to stop meeting like this. My apologies, but you were crouching like two cat burglars, and I was a bit curious about what you two were up to.
We were talking in the night air. That's all.
Appreciating nature. Kristen looks at them. And one takes in the night air in a crouching posture. Lee and Luca look at each other, but neither one can produce a response. Their marriage isn't a happy one. In those 20 years, they have not produced any issue.
I see a bunch of issues just fine.
He means kids, Suchek. They've been married for 2 decades and they can't pop one out.
Oh, wow.
Tristan shepherds them to another part of the boat. You two really have a penchant for intruding yourselves into matters that don't concern you. And that can lead to some rather dangerous consequences.
We're a bit familiar with danger.
Right. Can you imagine what would have happened if he caught you? And most travelers on this boat aren't curious sightseers either. Lee and Luca look at each other. And I'm a bit exhausted. Trying to keep you two from getting into some rather nasty scrapes. Now why don't you two go to bed?
Yes, sir.
They sheepishly go to the cabin where they see JJ reading a book. Whoa.
What?
JJ, our friend and colleague, is reading. Wait for it. A book! I can read, dude. I'm not an idiot. But it's a book! And without pictures, like... What is that?
Hang on a sec.
What?
You realize we were just chastised by a complete stranger? He basically treated us like we're naughty school children.
I mean, in a way we are.
No, screw that.
It picks up the gun from the bed.
We have a job to do and we're gonna do it. And no more of this. Oh, you really are just children getting into awful scrapes.
Was that your English accent?
Yeah?
JJ pulls a face.
What now?
Never go into voice acting. They walk out of the cabin and scurry to where the couple was. They walk around a bit, but find no one. Lee goes over to JJ.
Which cabin did you say they were in?
The fifth one to the left. Our left. They scurry over and peer to see it is dark. They twist the door open and walk in and they hear a click.
Ugh, God. Damn.
As they come to, they see a few men rush over with guns drawn. Lee takes aim, but hears a click. He looks at it.
Aw, fuck me.
The men raise their guns, but the wife walks over. You will put your guns away. These three were just playing, weren't you?
We were?
Yes. Yes, ma'am, we were. Pow! Pew! Pew! Luca, you're dead now. I am? Oh, right. I am. He falls over to the ground and writhes on the floor and lays there. The other men look at each other as the Englishman runs over. Is everyone alright? Yes, I'm fine. Thank God. As they embrace, he shoots a stern look at the trio. They go back into the cabin and sit on the beds.
Well, how do you like that?
What?
I was saying... Oh, forget it.
I think that blast might have ruptured my eardrum. Do you think the guy was in there?
It's irrelevant. The bigger question is, what happened to that man? All we saw was his wife.
Maybe he fell overboard.
Maybe.
He lays on the bed.
We'll regroup and try again in 5. And this time, we use discretion. Got it?
The others moan in agreement as Lee yawns and closes his eyes.
Alright. Back in 5.
It cuts to morning where Lee rolls over. He sniffs and then sits up to see the sun is already out. He runs over to Luca, who is fast asleep, grabs his wrist and looks at his watch.
Shit!
He wakes the other two up.
Guys! Guys! Wake up!
As they stir, he grabs his gun. Ugh, what happened?
We've been asleep for 10 hours.
Huh. Explains why I feel so refreshed.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be. We have an oligarch to kill.
They scurry out of the cabin to see the riverboat coming to a dock with the police on the shore. They go to the cabin to see the door is locked. They hurry to the commissary where they see no one is in there. When the boat docks, they look at each other. Luca looks around and sees that they are the only ones on the boat. In the marketplace, they are enjoying lunch when they look at their phone. And in local news, oligarch Ptolemy Nerrin vanished during a river cruise. The officers speculate that someone attempted to kill him by planting explosives in his quarters, but as of right now, there are no signs of the body. As for the wife, she has not yet been seen either, and it is speculated she may have been involved in a murder-suicide pact. Police will begin searching the Nile this afternoon for the body. Lee sits back in his chair.
Well, isn't that perfect? We cocked up a kill.
I mean, you can't get them all. Lee shoots him a dirty look. Luca gets up and goes over to the restroom where he hears a click. Don't turn around. Am I right in assuming you had something to do with all this? Tristan's lips curl. You're a good man. The 909th was composed of the best, and what happened to them was atrocious. I genuinely wept when I heard the news of what happened that day. That's something I'd rather not remember. Well, what are you going to do now? Well, Victoria and I are going on a long holiday, one which she has been needing for 20 years, and I appreciate it if you or your associates didn't follow. Did you know we were on a kill mission? I had my suspicions, but that is neither here nor there. And Nerrin? They'll never find him. He salutes Luca. I regret we had to meet under these circumstances. Hopefully, we can under more pleasant ones. As he turns to leave, he stops. If you are ever in London, you should stop by the Timaeus Club. I'll treat you to a drink. Not like that. As Luca leaves the restroom, he sees Lee and JJ looking at him. Well?
On to the next job. We're off to a monastery in Corvinia.
This ought to be fun.
Yeah.
As they turn to leave, Luca looks behind him to see Tristan and Victoria walking away. Tristan turns and their eyes meet. He smiles and the two turn and go their separate ways.